Now let's see today a new thing, which is thermal expansion of solids. Actually, first let's see the case of solid. After that, I will tell you is there possibility of thermal expansion in liquid or not. So first let's see what is thermal expansion. So basically, as it is clear from the name that if we will provide some thermal energy from outside to any solid body, then solid will get expansion in its configuration, like in its length, in its area, or simple in its volume. So that expansion is known as thermal expansion if we will use heat energy for the expansion. So as you know that every atom, every solid is made up of a large number of atoms, molecules or ions. And when we provide some energy, external energy from outside, then due to that energy they start to vibrate to its vibrate around its equilibrium position. Suppose that this is a solid made up of a large number of atoms. Okay, so suppose from here we provided heat then due to this heat, this particle will obviously it will receive some energy, outside energy, and due to that energy obviously it will go in its excited state, means it will start to vibrate to its equilibrium position. As you know that if solid is rigid, means its constituent particles, the position of constituent particles will not change, then definitely it will only vibrate to its equilibrium position, and due to their vibration, their effect of interatomic distance will increase, and due to that increment this molecule, this atom will come to its effective area, and due to that effective area it will collide with it, and obviously after collision it will transfer some of its energy, and due to transfer of energy again it will start to vibrate, and finally heat transfers will be possible. And also, as I told you that due to reception of heat energy, the effective simple effective length, effective area, or effective volume of these atoms simply, or simple effective interatomic distance increases, and due to that expansion or due to that increase in interatomic distances, we have the change in configuration of the solid due to this addition of the energy. Means simple, it's very simple that when we add some energy from outside, then the atoms will receive that energy and the effective interatomic distance will increase, and obviously that due to that increment in effective interatomic distances there will be change in configuration of the solid will occur, like there can be change in length if you will provide this energy along its length. Also there can be change in area or change in volume, depends on that through how we are providing energy to any solid. Okay. So depending on the nature of expansion, we have three types of thermal expansion. First is linear expansion, second is area expansion, and the third one is volume expansion. As I told you already that simple, on the addition of energy there will be increase in interatomic distance will occur, and due to that increment there will be effective area, length or volume of the solid will change, and that can be increased, and that increment is known as simple thermal expansion. And depending on the changes, it can be of three types: linear expansion, area expansion and volume expansion. If there is change in length occur, then linear expansion will occur, change in surface area will occur, then area expansion will occur, and change in volume will occur, then definitely there will be volume expansion will occur. So I think simple, what is linear expansion, that is clear to you. Now let's see them one by one. Then how can we calculate or deduct then how much expansion will be produced after addition of this thermal energy to the solid. So let's see first what is thermal expansion. First expansion is the linear expansion. In this expansion, let us suppose that there is a rod of original, its length is generally capital L, and suppose that initially the temperature of solid is Ti. Okay, and now we are changing the temperature of the solid. It means that we are providing some thermal energy to it, because if there is change in temperature, then definitely there will be some heat transfer takes place, means we will provide some heat energy to the solid. And suppose due to that external heat energy, there is change in length, delta L occur. This is delta L. And now suppose that final temperature on changing the length by delta L is Tf. And suppose this is the difference between these two temperatures is delta T. Sorry guys. So it means that in delta T change in temperature, there will be change in length, delta L occur, means the linear expansion in this rod will be delta L. And this linear expansion delta L depends upon two factors. First is its length, and second is on the temperature difference. Means greater will be the length of the rod, and then greater will be the linear expansion in rod will produce. And if we will provide greater energy, then definitely there will be greater change in length will occur. So finally let's map it. We will get delta L is directly proportional to L delta T, or on removing this proportionality sign, we can write here a proportionality constant alpha L delta T. So I think this is simple, clear to you. This change in length, and this proportionality constant alpha is known as coefficient of linear expansion. Its value is fixed for some fixed temperature or fixed body. Means simple, it depends upon I think two factors, the length of the body and the change in temperature of the body, and it predicts that how much change in any solid body will occur on the addition of heat energy. So I think simple, what is linear expansion, what is coefficient of linear expansion is clear to you. We can also write it in the form of Ti and Tf. So we can also write it. Let's see that. So we can write, suppose that in starting the length is simple L and this is delta L. Write it only delta L. There is no difference. Alpha L into Tf minus Ti. Or we can also write alpha equal to delta L upon L Tf minus Ti. Means if you want to calculate coefficient of thermal expansion for any body for the fixed temperature difference, then we can calculate it by using this formula. So if we know that, or simple, if we want to calculate what is the simple this value for thermal linear expansion takes place, then after putting all these value we can easily calculate delta F. So this will help us to know about the expansion of a solid body, and according to this when we calculated these values of alpha, then we find out that simply found that it is greater for ionic solid than the non-ionic solid. Means that simple, if solid is ionic, then there will be greater expansion in its length will occur. For example, there will be greater increase in or greater expansion in length will occur in iron rod than the lead rod, because iron rod is ionic solid. So that's why this is with this we can easily predict the property of solid, and we can say that why in some solids of same weight, same length of or of same cross sectional area, so linear expansion, different linear expansion on the addition of same energy to them. So this is the reason we can explain it that linear expansion takes place in ionic solid in greater extent than the non-ionic solid. So alpha will helps us to know this property about the thermal expansion. So I think this concept is simple, clear to you. What is linear expansion? Now let's see what is area expansion. Area expansion. So as I told you already, if we will provide energy to any simple planar body or any other body from the outside, then there can be or expansion in area will also occur. So suppose that this is a body of surface area S, and suppose on the addition of heat energy, means suppose that there is temperature difference delta T occur. Initially if temperature is Ti, final temperature is T up, then the difference in temperature is here delta T, and due to that difference definitely there will be addition of heat energy to the solid body. And suppose due to that addition there is change in delta S, surface area will occur in this body. So this change in surface area again will depend on two factors. The first factor it will depends on is the surface area of original body, and the second factor it will depends on the change in temperature, means how much heat we are providing to it. Okay. So finally we can again write delta S is directly proportional to S delta T, or we can remove proportionality sign, that will be that will come some beta delta T. So beta is here known as coefficient of area expansion. Again it will give us knowledge about different solid bodies to compare them. Then if there whether there will be greater increase in area expansion for the same amount of heat or not. Means if we have two bodies and of the same simple weight or other things, same volume, and we are providing same energy to them, but in some solids there may be greater change in area, but in some solid there may be less change in area. So that factor we can easily tell with the help of, we can easily explain with the help of beta. So I think this is also clear to you. How can we measure what will be the calculation of simple, or we want to know how much change is produced due to this temperature difference delta T in this solid body, then that will be like this. Okay. So again we can write, if there is a simple change in temperature is Ti minus T up, then we can also write here in place of this Ti minus Ti, final temperature minus initial temperature. Okay. So I think area expansion is also clear to you. Then let's see volume expansion. So suppose again the same factor is that if we will add some heat energy to any suppose that cubical body or any dimensional body, then there can be also change in volume occur. And suppose this is a cube, and this cube we are providing some heat to it, means we are changing the temperature of the cube by amount delta T. Then due to this change, suppose that there will be there change in volume of the cube will occur. Actually I am not constructing this. Suppose that the volume of the cube is occurred, that is delta V, and originally the volume of the cube is V. Then again this factor delta V means change in volume will depends upon two factors. Then it will be directly proportional to the original volume, means greater will be the volume of the body, greater there will be greater change in volume of the body will occur while changing temperature of the body. And again this change in volume will also proportional to the change in temperature. Simple, greater energy we will provide, greater change in volume will occur. So we can write delta V is directly proportional to V delta T, or on removing this proportionality sign there can be some constant gamma V delta T. Again this constant gamma will provide us knowledge about the solid materials, through which we can easily compare two solid bodies that one will have less volume expansion and other will have greater volume expansion, and so on. These types of things we can easily compare, and we can easily calculate what will be the change in volume occur due to the change in temperature delta T. So I think what is thermal expansion, it is clear to you, and this thermal expansion helps us in many ways in our daily life. I'll tell you later what is the application of this thermal expansion or knowledge of the thermal expansion. Easily we actually there are a lot of applications, and also we in our daily life we take precautions while knowing this or we have knowledge of this thermal expansion. So first I think there can be expansion of three types. You have all aware to it now. Simple linear expansion, area expansion, and volume expansion. We can also simple calculate relationship between alpha, beta and gamma, means coefficient of linear expansion, coefficient of area expansion, and coefficient of volume expansion. So let's see what are the relationship between these three constants, and with the help of these three constants we can easily tell the simple, suppose that this is three-dimensional body, so on the addition of energy there can be change in length will occur. There can be also change in, obviously in if changing in volume is here, then definitely there will be change in length will occur, and there will be change in surface area will occur due to this change in volume. So means all three changes, all three expansions are taking place at one place. So there may be some relationship between these three constants. For the relationship between alpha, beta and gamma, consider a cube of length L. So and area surface area S and volume V. So definitely if a cube is of length L, then surface area will be L square and volume will be L cube. I think there is no doubt in that. Now let's see, suppose that we are adding some or we are changing the temperature of that cube by an amount delta T, then due to the change in temperature definitely there will be change in length, change in surface area, and change in volume of the cube will occur. So that change can be given by delta L will be equal to alpha L delta T, delta S will be equal to simple beta S delta T, and delta V will be equal to gamma B delta T. So this is change in change in length, change in surface area, and change in volume due to this temperature difference delta T will occur in the body. Now as we know that what will be the new length, now new surface area, suppose that I am first taking the change in surface area, the concept of this. So new surface area will become simply S plus delta S. This is the original surface area and this is change in surface area. We can also write it in form of length, that will be total length whole square. This is L plus delta S means change in length total, means after adding that simple energy to it, there will be change in length also occur in the cube, and that will be length, total length of the body will become L plus delta L, that will be equal to total new surface area. So we can also write it here as plus, in place of delta S used for it from equation 2, this will be beta as delta t, and we can also write it in place of delta L, this equation, that will be alpha L delta t whole square. Now we can solve it, and let's see after solving it will we get. This is S plus beta S delta t. This will be equal to L square plus alpha square L square delta t whole square plus 2 alpha L delta t. Clear? As you know that there is the value of coefficient of thermal expansion is very less, so the square of this quantity will also become more less than this, so we can neglect this second term. So after neglecting it, we will get alpha square 2 alpha L delta t. Actually not L, there will be get del L square after multiplying this. Okay, so we can also write in place of L square S and 2 alpha in place of this L square S delta t. This will be equal to S plus beta S delta t. So we can take common here then, and after solving this from both sides, S will be cancel out, and after that we will get beta delta t, that will be equal to 2 alpha delta t, or on removing delta t we will get beta equal to 2 alpha. So this is the first relationship between alpha and beta we got, that with the concept of simple expansion of area from here. So I think this is simply clear to you how we solved it for the relationship between alpha and beta. Now let's see relationship between other quantities, beta, alpha and gamma, or beta and gamma. So let's see that. Now again let's see what will be the new volume of the cube after changing in temperature by the amount delta T. So suppose then volume will be V plus delta V. Definitely it is clear from then this is the original volume, this is change in volume, then final volume will be V plus delta V, and we can also write it L plus delta L whole cube, as the final length is L plus delta L after the linear expansion of the cube. So again we can use the value of delta V, that will be gamma V delta T, and we can also use the value of delta L here, that will be alpha L delta T whole cube. This is V plus gamma V delta T, and we can solve it for the cube, that we will get L cube plus alpha cube L cube delta T cube plus 3 alpha L square delta T in bracket L plus alpha L delta T. I think this is simple, clear to you. This is the simple cubical formula, and we can also arrange this formula in new manner. Let's see how. As you know that simple coefficient of linear expansion, the value of coefficient of linear expansion is very less, so its cube will also be less, or simple its square will also be less. So we can easily write in place of all these things that will occur. Simple V plus gamma V delta T, this will comes out to be L cube plus neglect this term from here, we will get 3 alpha L square delta T, 3 alpha L cube delta T plus 3 alpha square L cube delta T whole square. Okay, after again the same thing is that as alpha is very less, its square will be less, then definitely we can neglect this term from here. So after neglecting it, we can easily solve now it. In place of L cube we can write V as the volume of the cube originally is V equal to L cube. Also we can write here V in place of L cube and we will get this. So after solving all these things, we can easily obtain the value of gamma, that will be comes out to be gamma equal to 3 alpha. So also we can write the value of alpha in terms of gamma, that will be gamma equal to alpha equal to gamma by 3. So this is the new relationship between alpha and gamma, means coefficient of linear expansion and coefficient of volume expansion as this. So as we have two relationship between two quantity, that is alpha equal to 2 beta, or beta equal to 2 alpha, or we can write alpha equal to beta by 2 and also alpha equal to 3 alpha equal to gamma, we can write alpha equal to gamma by 3. So after arranging it, we can easily calculate what will be the relationship between these three. So that will comes out to be 6 alpha equal to 3 beta equal to 2 gamma. This is the relationship between these three coefficient of thermal expansion, alpha, beta and gamma, and we can easily calculate it for any body if we know only one types of coefficient of thermal expansion. So if there is any cube or dimensional body, if there is change in volume occur, then definitely there will be change in length or change in area will occur, means automatically linear expansion and area expansion will occur. So if we know what is the coefficient of linear expansion for that solid, then we can easily calculate what will be the coefficient of area expansion and what will be the coefficient of volume expansion for that body. So this is the relationship between these three quantities. With the help of these three, we can easily predict in any in any solid there will be greater change in its configuration on addition of thermal energy, or less change in its configuration on addition of thermal energy will occur. So with the help of these three quantities, we can easily make some bodies, we can bear thermal energy, or which will not expend too much on the addition of thermal expansion. With the knowledge of that, we can easily use it in our industries and in our daily life. Here. So I think this concept is simple, clear to you. Let's see the some daily basis or simple the knowledge of by using the knowledge of this thermal expansion, where we can use it. What is the application of this thermal expansion? So what are the applications of simple knowledge of the thermal expansion? So as you know that in between two railway, as you know that rails, and we always left some gap between two track. Means on the track between two rails we left some gap. So why we do so? As you know that simple we made some these tracks by using the iron or other wooden blocks and other iron blocks. So as in summer or in winter there will be change in temperature will occur, and due to that change in temperature, definitely there will be the process of thermal expansion or thermal compression will occur. So if thermal expansion will occur, then definitely it will need to expand in some gap. So otherwise track will be bent out. So with the knowledge of that, we always left some gap between two rails for the thermal expansion to be taken place. Again, as you have seen that while finding some any electric wire between two poles, we always it binds some loosely or loosely, because if we will not make it somewhat loose, then definitely after in winter season, if there will be change in temperature or means temperature of the wire or simple material of solid will decrease, and due to decreasing temperature there will be the effect of thermal compression will occur. Then definitely it will be compressed, and due to that compression wire may maybe break down. So to prevent that breaking, we always bind it loosely between any two plates, two poles. Third example, as you have seen that the clock pendulum is made up of imperial invar, because we can't make it by using any types of material, as the thermal expansion for different materials are different, and if the length of or in this pendulum will change, then definitely there will be change in time of the clock will occur. So we need such a material which have low thermal expansion for the change in temperature. So invar is used for that purpose, because it has property that after getting a lot of heat energy, there will be very less thermal expansion will occur in that solid. So in this way, actually there are a lot of other applications also. Means at any place where change in temperature will occur, then definitely in solids there can be thermal expansion, there can be process of thermal expansion will occur, and due to that thermal expansion, we must need to take care of some while using any solid for the long purpose and other things, like while we are constructing a bridge, and in bridge girder always we left some space between any two bridge girders for the process of thermal expansion on the due to change in weather or simple change in temperature, and for the simple thermal expansion. Means due to thermal expansion, definitely there will be some change in length, area or volume will occur. So solid will need some space to make over this change. So obviously for that we must have to put some free space for that changes. So this knowledge helps us to prevent so many accidents, and also to use it in our daily life. So I think the concept of thermal expansion and importance of thermal expansion in our daily life is now clear to you. So let's see in next class what will be the thermal expansion in case of liquid. Is thermal expansion in liquid also possible or not? So let's see it in next class. Thank you guys.